Evaluating interference as an explanation for forgetting. Support for both retro and proactive interference comes from research studies. Proactive interference is when past learning interferes with current learning attempts. Underwood, 1957, analyzed the findings from a number of studies and found that participants who had to learn a series of word lists don't learn the lists learned later on in the sequence as well as the lists which they encountered earlier on. Furthermore, Underwood found that if participants had to learn 10 or more word lists, they could remember 20% of what they'd learned 24 hours afterwards. If they only learned one list, the recall was over 70%. These results suggest that proactive interference occurs when learning multiple word lists because the old lists interfere with the attempts to learn new ones. This supports the role of proactive interference in forgetting. Retroactive interference has also been demonstrated in studies. Retroactive interference is where learning something new interferes with recall of past learning. Muller and Pilzecker, 1990, demonstrated retroactive interference by giving participants nonsense syllables to learn for 6 minutes. After a retention interval, they asked them to recall the list. Performance was worse when participants were given an intervening task between initial learning and recall. During this intervening task, they were shown 3 landscape paintings and asked to describe them. Therefore, the intervening task produced interference because the later task, new learning, interfered with the previous learning. This supports the role of retroactive interference in forgetting. One advantage of interference as an explanation is that it has real-world applications. For example, Danaher, 2008, found that both recall and recognition of an advertiser's message were impaired when participants were exposed to 2 advertisements for competing brands in the same week due to interference. Therefore, he suggested that one strategy may be to enhance viewers' memory of adverts by running the ad multiple times in one day instead of throughout the week to reduce interference from competitors' adverts. This matters because research can potentially save advertisers money and enhance the effectiveness of advertising campaigns. However, the research which interference is based on may not reflect real life very well. The studies lack ecological validity and mundane realism. This is because most of the research investigating interference is laboratory-based and uses artificial lists of words or nonsense syllables. Therefore, the findings may not relate to everyday uses of memory, which tend not to involve simple word lists. People may also lack motivation to learn word lists in studies because it is boring, making the interference effects appear even stronger. This suggests that the results of interference research lack ecological validity and cannot be generalized to everyday instances of forgetting.